Black Adam issue 3, Christopher Priest writing with Rafa Sandoval on the art. And I have to say, as well, obviously the cover's gorgeous because it's that beautifully realistic painting
Yeah.
of Black Adam. I must say this is probably my least favorite of these issues out of the three. I don't know how you feel.
I won't say that it's my least favorite. However, there's an awful lot of mythology at play that I had to keep cross-referencing, and I had a very long day yesterday. I had this at the end of the night. I might have dozed off twice while reading it, so it feels very much like a fever dream, which kind of works in the favor because that's kind of what this issue is for Black Adam.
Like, you know, yeah, there's kind of this thing where Black Adam's talking to who is it at the start? Who he thinks he's talking to?
So he thinks he's talking to Assad, but it ends up being a Sumerian god.
Yeah, it ends up being Ishtar. Yeah, it ends up being Ishtar who kisses them. And then it's kind of like he's in this like weird, whether it's real or not, but it's like he's in like a hell of sorts whilst he's lying on the hospital bed. So we go back to Malik and like the manager, well not manager, I don't know why I called him that. The agent dude who's like his handler.
Liaison, yeah.
And it's all about Malik sort of thinking outside the box, like to try and save him. He ends up using like his Shazam power, like a defibrillator, where he like puts his hands on Black Adam's chest and says Shazam, and I'm like, that is a really cool concept. I wish it was in something else because I don't think it is. It's like a cool action beat that I wish was at the end of a big action scene where I really cared about someone dying.
Yeah, I also like that he's like, well, I'm treating the wrong person because this Theo is dead, but Black Adam is invulnerable, so maybe I need to treat him instead of him, and that's when he changes him back. And just the whole look of when he uses the power that his suit looks like Scrubs with the lightning bolt on it too. I like that aspect, just on the art side. But yeah, this Malik as a character is someone that's really growing on me. There's a certain vibe that he has. I don't know, maybe it's just his, I don't give a flip attitude or what, but
yeah, I think
it works.
I think why I wasn't as into this issue as much is because so much of it's spent in this like hell dimension or whatever it is.
So it's the Sumerian afterlife, which is Urkala, which is the underworld.
Sure.
So I don't know much about the Sumerian gods yet. These are the ancient gods from which Black Adam got his power from. Them and the Egyptians. And so at first you have Ishtar, who's the goddess of love. I had to research this.
Yeah, and then you have this stupid name, Eresha Kagal. I could believe like that was meant to be a name. Luckily she says that a little bit later, just call me Eresh. I was like, okay, fine.
Which is also, so she's the twin sister of Ishtar, and when you look it up, that she's kind of like in the way that Hades is also the name of the place and the afterlife. That's also another name for the afterlife as hers. So these are kind of like the proto gods, which is interesting. The fact that he thought he was fighting Darkseid, right? But we all knew it wasn't Darkseid because of whatever. That it's almost like he's being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like Black Adam is being reforged through these gods, through this afterlife, because whatever is the sickness, it's almost like forming a cocoon around him, right? So, and then you end up with this, he fights the Bull of Heaven and ends up with Sargon of Akkad, who, when you look up, was apparently the first ruler in history of this empire.
Well, this is the problem with this issue, is that the issue doesn't tell me any of this. I have no idea who any of these characters are. And I'm like, what's going on? Who are these people?
But you just get the fact that he's this, that this Sargon of Akkad is almost a proto Black Adam or champion, because he's not of the gods. He says, I'm the thorn in the god's side.
Yeah, he's got a cape on, he's got like a lion looking like a symbol on his chest.
He's got the lion crest, and he's got like these, they're not hammers, but they're like the heads of hammers on his hands, that he uses to fight. And I was getting the vibe that this was like the first Shazam, right? Like this was their first champion, and this is going all the way back to, which I don't know. That's why I feel like it's a reforging of Black Adam, right? That he's lost his way and needs to be recentered on as the champion for these gods. So, but yeah, it was kind of just all over the place, and the stuff with the tea was kind of lost on me. But that might have been because I was reading this so tired last night.
Yeah, I feel like you've forgotten something here. Do you not remember where he unmasks this guy and it's older Malik?
Oh my god, I did forget about that.
So this whole first champion nonsense, I'm not sure I buy.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because so he's fighting this champion dude, and he takes off the mask, and it looks like Malik but in old age. He's got grey hair, and that's in the last page, and then Black Adam wakes up in the hospital bed. I enjoyed all the scenes with Malik because I enjoy that character, and I think they're more straightforward in the sense that I feel like Priest did a lot of work, whether he knew it already or researched these characters and these gods and all this stuff. I appreciate the effort that goes into it, but this is not stuff that I think everyone reading this book, or even a good portion of the people reading this book, are going to know any of. And I don't think it's introduced in a way where I really got what these different characters were representing, or what the conflicts here were. It just kind of felt like a lot of fighting without much context once it got going. So it I don't know. I found this one a little bit of a chore to get through in some ways. Even though the art's good, even though I'm still enjoying the Malik stuff, and I'm hoping that this is just that done now, or at least if this does come back up again, there's a bit more context for it when it does.
I remember having similar issues in Deathstroke where there was just a lot of information thrown at us, and you would feel lost for 2 issues, which at this point that's Priest's style, and I'll reserve harsh judgment if we get to the point and that doesn't still make sense. Because Deathstroke eventually came around, right? Pieces were going. But yeah, no, I agree. I did forget about him being the older Malik.
Well, because that's the big twist of the issue. And that kind of is what's teasing what's to come, is that Black Adam might now question if he should trust him. And it also begs the question, in what way, shape, or form could Malik grow up to be this person who's going to fight Black Adam or end up in this place? Is he knowing what he's doing, or has he become kind of like a puppet of something, or I don't know. There's questions here, but I have to admit, after 2 really solid issues, I did feel that this one left me a little cold and a little just unsure of what was happening.
Yeah.
So I did not find this one that fulfilling, sadly. Yeah. So that's a bit of a shame. Because I was into that first issue quite a bit, and mostly really the second issue. I hope it gets back on track, because I'd hate to get to busy November and all of a sudden the week's quite busy, and I'm like, that may be an easy cut if I'm feeling this conflicted by it come then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still keep going because I need to know where this goes. But yeah, another maybe I'll give it till 6 for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But what's funny? So when I looked up Sargon of Akkad just now, I was reminded that he was the villain in the Scorpion King, right?
Oh Jesus!
So now that's twice that Black Adam that the Rock has fought in Sargon of Akkad. So
Oh bloody hell! All right, Matt, what are you giving Black Adam?
I'm giving this one a 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going more like a 6, I guess. Oh well. Yeah, I'll say 6 because they are still really good. I still like the Malik bits. So that's as high as I'm willing to go on this one, which is a shame.